I'm going to help you transform that space into a place of calm and set that stage for future buyers in 3 simple steps. So, we've all seen the pictures of the beautifully staged homes, the beautifully staged living rooms and kitchens and bedrooms. But what about the home office? That doesn't get nearly as much attention. And if your office looks like my office, it kind of maybe looks like this. Not a good look when you're trying to sell. Staging a home office is all about creating a picture in a buyer's mind of a nice, calm workspace that they can see themselves in. So how do you go from this to this in 3 steps? Well, here we go. And before we start, let me say that I understand that there are limits as far as your time and your budget and your patience, quite frankly. So if you can't do all of them, just do what you can. So step 1 is to empty the room. Get everything out of there and make it the blank canvas that we're going to create something on. While it's empty, if you can, I would say paint. I suggest paint. I can't speak highly enough about paint. Paint for $30 a gallon, you can transform the look and feel of an entire room. So while it's empty, throw on some paint. Neutral colors are best. You can go with a beige, you can go with a taupe, you can go with sage, or even like a gray blue. And it all kind of depends on your furniture and the style of your home, the style of your room. But that's a good palette to start from. One note though, about paint colors, taupe, since it's like right between gray and beige, depending on the color of the furniture that you have in the room, it kind of shifts color. If you have warmer furniture colors, if you have like dark wood desk, it's going to appear a little bit more gray on the wall. If you have a neutral desk, like a steel desk or a glass desk, it actually might come out to be a little bit more on the beige side. So just keep that in mind when you're picking your taupe color. And white. White is okay if you have a contemporary feel to your house, because it is a very contemporary color. So, and a very sparse color. So if you've got some modern office furniture and the rest of your house is kind of modern, go for it. It's nice and light and airy. However, if the rest of your house is kind of traditional, I don't know that you necessarily want to make a contemporary office space. Also, if you have very traditional furniture, I don't know that you want to paint the walls white. It just kind of makes it feel a little cold. So I recommend getting some swatches in there, put them up on the wall, see what feels best for you. Step number 2, start to add things back in. Now that we have the paint on the wall, the rest of the canvas is blank, let's add back in the things that we need, and only the things that we need. A desk, a chair, a bookshelf, and it also depends on the size of your room. If you have a very small office like I do, which I have way too much furniture in, but if you have a very small office, you really want to stick to those things. If you have a file cabinet that you can't live without, see if you can tuck it in the closet and kind of hide it in there. If you have a bigger office space, you can add a few more things if they make sense. Maybe a chair and another little table in the corner or something like that, or a guest chair on the other side of your desk. Another hint is if you have a big enough space, position your furniture so that it's floating. That's a staging term for furniture that's not just up against the wall. If you've got a big enough space, pull the furniture out into the middle of the room, creating space around it. It'll make the room flow better and look bigger. If you can't, if all of your furniture has to go against the walls because it's a small space, aim for putting your desk maybe under the window so that you can see the natural light coming in. That's usually a good spot. And make sure that it's well lit. Buyers want to see a nice, open, airy space. So windows are great, but if you don't have windows, go for a nice desk lamp or a floor lamp. And another trick is if you do have a window, but it's still kind of dark, put a mirror on the opposite side of the room to kind of reflect more light into that space. Now we're on to the 3rd and final step. But before we get there, do me a favor and go down below and hit that like button if you're finding this information useful. So step number 3 is to accessorize. Now, we want to be very careful and not get too much stuff in there. You want to be sparse about it. Be very minimalistic. Now, make sure that you are matching your accessories to the environment. They don't all have to match each other necessarily, but they should kind of match the feel of the room. For instance, if you have like a wood traditional desk, having some more natural accessories on the desk may look just fantastic. Or if you have a contemporary desk, like a glass top desk, maybe you want to go for a matching set of like black mesh metal accessories. Whatever it is that fits the room, those accessories should match as well. And if you want to deep dive into staging, there is something called the rule of 3. And that is things look great in groups of 3s or an odd number like 5. But for desk accessories, I would say 3 because you don't want too much on there. So, maybe your pencil cup, your stapler, and your tape dispenser, whatever that may be. And that's not a hard and fast rule, but just try to keep it as minimalist as possible. Now, if you did go with the neutral walls, here is a fantastic place to add some color. You can go to the dollar store or the thrift store. You can get accessories that have color in them, or get some unique stuff too for that matter. But if you're looking for color, you can even put a piece of colored paper on the top of your desk and it'll look like a blotter. That'll add some color. Or get a chair that's a color. You can do it that way. Or you can do that by adding a picture either behind the desk or on an accessory wall. Those are great ways to add color. And in fact, you should keep the space as neutral as possible. So if you had some personal things up, like your college diplomas, things like that, take those off the walls, take the family pictures off the walls, and put up some color art instead, and make that room come to life a little bit. And speaking of coming to life, one thing that helps you do that is plants. And it doesn't have to be a lot. It can be a succulent that you just have sitting on your desk, or it can be a floor plant that sits next to the desk. But plants always kind of add oxygen to your room if they're real. Try to stay away from fake plants because they look fake. Go for the real ones and they'll feel much better and make the room feel much better. So that is it. The 3 simple steps to staging your home office to sell. If you have any questions or anything, please feel free to leave me comments. Also, if you like this video, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the bell so you don't miss any of the new videos coming out. And I will see you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.